So in this video, we are going to learn how to automate real estate lead qualification using AI agent. So we are going to build an AI agent which will capture the new leads which we are getting from Google Forms as a form submission for our real estate business. And after this AI agent will send the same leads to OpenAI. And using OpenAI, we are going to review this lead, and in response, OpenAI is going to give us that whether this lead is a qualified lead or not, whether it's a hot lead, warm lead, cold lead, or an unqualified lead. After that, we are going to add the same review, the same qualification status given by OpenAI back in our Google spreadsheet in which we are getting the Google form responses. Now, if you want to learn how you can build this AI agent all by yourself, for that, let me just take you to my screen.
So as you can see, this is my Google form which I have created to collect the leads for my real estate business. And in this form, I have basically added all the necessary questions which I want to ask to the new lead. And all the responses, all the leads which I'm getting from this Google form is added in this Google spreadsheet. Now here in this video, you can see that we are going to build an AI agent using which as a new lead is added over here, or as we receive a new lead from Google form, this AI agent will get the details of the same lead and send it to AI platform like OpenAI. And using OpenAI, it is basically going to analyze the lead and check the qualification status. At last, this AI agent will update the qualification status as it is a hot lead, a warm lead, a cold lead, or an unqualified lead, and also add the explanation that why OpenAI thinks this is a warm lead over here. Now let's see this AI agent in action. We'll just go to the same form over here. I have published the form. Let me just copy the link of this form, and we will open this form in a new tab. And we are going to make a dummy submission. Let's say the name of the person is test user. This is the name of the lead. This is the email address. Then after that, this is the mobile number which we are entering. The preferred method of contact is email. The property interested is a commercial property. Preferred location is, for example, the budget range is, for example, $500 to $1 million. And yes, I am pre-approved for the loan. The ideal time frame is within 1 to 3 months. Then it is asking us for some other real estate agents. So yes, I'm working with the other real estate agents, and it's for an investment. And I don't have any specific requirements, so I'm writing no. So just now in this lead form, which we have created using Google Forms, we have entered the details of a dummy lead. Now we will just click on the submit button, and as we click on submit, here you can see that just now in our Google spreadsheet, a new row of data is added, and these are the details of the same lead. And as we capture the new lead and the details of the lead are automatically added in this Google Sheet by Google Forms, you will see this AI agent which we have created is triggered, and this AI agent sent all of these details of a new lead to OpenAI, and using OpenAI, it has basically analyzed this lead. And at last here you can see that in the column of lead qualification status and explanation, it has basically updated the lead qualification, the lead status over here, that the lead type is it's a warm lead, and also added the explanation that why this AI agent thinks this is a warm lead. So this AI agent will do the lead qualification, update the status, and give us the explanation instantly, immediately within seconds as we get the new lead, and it will do it automatically. Now to connect this platform, now to connect Google Forms with OpenAI and generate this kind of AI agent, to create this kind of AI agent, we have used Pabbly Connect. And to get started with Pabbly Connect, we will just go to a browser and search for Pabbly, pabbly.com/connect. And here you can see that we will reach to Pabbly Connect's landing page. Here we have two options, sign in and sign up free. Now to get started with Pabbly, you just have to click on this sign up free button, and you can set up your free Pabbly account in just 2 minutes. Or if you're an existing Pabbly user, just click on sign in. After signing in, you will reach to this all apps page of Pabbly. And here you just have to click on access now below Pabbly Connect. And as you click on access now, we will reach to Pabbly Connect's dashboard. After reaching to this dashboard, we have to create a workflow for our AI agent. For that, just click on this create workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I'll name my workflow as AI agent for real estate lead qualification. You can basically give any other name as per your choice. Then just select the folder of your Pabbly Connect account in which you want to set up this workflow, and then just click on create. And as you click on create, here you can see the workflow will open in front of us. Now here in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window, and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation, this AI agent works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with the trigger step. Now the idea here is, first we have to connect our Google form with Pabbly Connect in the triggers tab. So that whenever we receive a new form submission, whenever we get a new lead from Google Forms, automatically the details of the same lead are captured by this AI agent, by Pabbly Connect workflow, and this AI agent will trigger, it will start. Now in this video, I just took an example of Google Forms to collect the new leads, but instead of this, you can use any other platform of your choice. So here in trigger step in choose app, we will search for Google Forms and select it. After selecting Google Forms, in trigger event from this drop down, select the trigger event as new response received. After selecting the trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we have to add this webhook URL in our Google form, or basically in our Google spreadsheet in which our Google form responses are stored. Now to add this webhook URL, we just have to follow the instructions given below over here. Just copy the webhook URL from here and go to the Google spreadsheet in which all the Google form responses are stored. Now, if you want to know how you can access this spreadsheet, just go to your Google Forms and from the responses tab, here you will get the option of view in sheet or create spreadsheet. Just click on it and in a new tab, the same Google spreadsheet will open in front of us. Now, after coming to this Google Sheet, here what we have to do, we have to basically add the Pabbly Connect add-on over here. Just go to Extensions, Add-ons and click on Get Add-ons. As we click on Get Add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in Search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Now here you can see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheets. You just have to install this same add-on into your own Google Sheets account, and after installing it, just refresh your Google Sheets once. This is a very important step. After refreshing our Google Sheet, just once again go to Extensions, and here you can see Pabbly Connect Webhooks. This add-on is already added over here. So here you can see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks, just hover on it and click on Initial Setup. And as we click on Initial Setup, this dialog box will appear in front of us. And it is basically asking us three different things: selected sheet, webhook URL, and trigger column. Now here in selected sheet, we have to basically select the sheet in our Google spreadsheet that from which sheet we want to send the new row of data to Pabbly Connect. Now here in this Google spreadsheet, we have only one sheet named as Form Response 1. So by default, it has selected Form Response 1. Then after that, here in the field of webhook URL, as you can guess, we have to enter the exact same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. After pasting the webhook URL, it is asking us for the trigger column. Now you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last column of our Google spreadsheet in which any of our data we are going to enter or we are going to get after the form submission. Now here in this spreadsheet, you can see we are going to get the form responses till this column M. After column M, let me just clear these two columns. In column N and O, we are going to basically update the qualification status of lead and the explanation after this AI agent has sent this data to OpenAI and received the response. But the form responses will be only stored till column M. I have manually added the column N and column O after creating the spreadsheet, after creating the form. So column M is going to be my last column because this is the column in which, the last column in which my form responses from Google Forms will be added. So here we are going to select column M as our trigger column. Once again, we'll go to Initial Setup, and after that, here in the field of webhook URL, we will paste the same webhook URL and trigger column, enter the trigger column as column M. After entering the trigger column in webhook URL, click on this Send Test button. And as we click on Send Test, here you can see that it is showing us the test data is sent successfully. This means the data of the very first row after headers, the data of row number 2 is now sent to Pabbly Connect. Now here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, you can see that within seconds, we have received the response. And in this response, you can see the details of the same lead whose details we have in row number 2. So this means the connection between this Google spreadsheet or the Google Form Responses sheet and Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine. Now here we will just click on the Submit button, and as we click on Submit, it is showing us that the setup is configured successfully. Then we will just close this dialog. We'll go to Extensions, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and click on this Send on Event option. By selecting Send on Event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever a new row of data is added till our trigger column, whenever a new form submission is received and Google Forms will automatically add a new row of data with the form responses, then we want to basically send the same data immediately, instantly to this webhook URL, to Pabbly Connect. So earlier in the beginning of the video, we saw that we had the lead qualification status and explanation for these two leads. But now because we are starting from scratch, we have just cleared this data for now. Now after this, what we have to do, after connecting this Google spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, here we want this AI agent to send the same form responses which we have received from Google Sheets to OpenAI. Now to do this, we will just scroll down, come to this action step, and here in choose app, we will search for OpenAI. Just select it. After selecting OpenAI, an action event from the drop-down, select the action event as ChatGPT structured AI output. Then just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here we have to connect our OpenAI account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API key of our OpenAI account. Now you must be thinking how you can get this API key. To get it, just log into your OpenAI account and from the dashboard, go to this API keys section. After coming here, just click on this create new secret key and give this API key a name. Let's say I'll name it as Pabbly Connect. Just select the project of your OpenAI account for which you are generating the API key and permissions as all. And click on this create secret key button. As we click on create secret key, the API key will be generated. Copy the API key from here and paste it over here. And after pasting the API key, just click on save. And as we click on save, we will see our OpenAI account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us to select the AI model, that using which model we want to process this leads data and check the qualification. So in this dropdown here, you can see a list of all the models available for this particular action of ChatGPT structured AI output. Out of all of this, we will be using this model of GPT-4o Mini. And we are using this particular action event of OpenAI because we want a structured response. We want a separate response for the lead qualification status and explanation. And if we don't go with the structured output, if we just go with the plain ChatGPT or ChatGPT Advanced, in that case, we are going to get a single text response with all the details in it from ChatGPT. But we want individual responses for the lead qualification status and explanation so that we can update them individually in our Google spreadsheet. That's why we are going to use or get the structured response from OpenAI using this action. After selecting the AI model, it is asking us for the role. And here in role, in this dropdown, you have three options: user, system, and assistant. Now here we have to select that using which particular role, for which particular role we are sending the prompt or the message to OpenAI. Now from this dropdown, you can select any role. Now here in the help text, you can see that if we turn this mapping button on, we can enter multiple roles over here. So whatever role we are selecting over here, the content user or the field for that particular role is added below that. And if we enter multiple roles, multiple fields will be added. And in these fields, we are going to enter the prompt, the actual message, which we want to send to OpenAI. So here from the help text below, I will just copy this over here and I'm going to add two different roles. I want to enter the prompt as a system prompt over here and a user prompt. So I want to add the prompt for two different roles, system role and user role. So I have written system, user in this role field after turning the mapping button on. And here you can see that two different fields are added to enter our prompt below that, content system and content user. And here in the field of content system, you can enter your system prompt which you want to give to OpenAI. And here in the field of content user, you can enter your user form in which we are going to add the details of the lead. So here I have already created my system prompt and the user prompt. Let me just enter these prompts over here. Okay, so as you can see, I have entered a system prompt and the user prompt. In system prompt, I have basically entered the details of my business, a background, and I have basically told OpenAI that how I want OpenAI or ChatGPT or this AI agent to approach the details which I'm sharing. Also, I have added the lead qualification criteria as well, that what is a hot lead, what is a warm lead, what is a cold lead, and what is an unqualified lead over here. So in this way, you can just modify these prompts as per your requirement and with your business details. After entering the system prompt, here in the field of content user, in user prompt, we are going to share the details of the lead on which we want OpenAI to process, to which we want this AI agent to process and give us the response. Now here we have added all the fields over here and we have received the details of the new lead which we have received from Google Forms in the trigger step of this workflow. So here from the trigger step responses, one by one, we have to basically add all of these details of the lead to this OpenAI action step. And to add the trigger step responses to this OpenAI action step, we are going to use a process called mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field of content user, and here you can see that as we click on this field in front of name, here in this drop down you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Forms. Out of all of these responses, select this response of full name and it will be mapped. And after that, here in the field of email, here you can see that we are just going to select the response of email and map it over here. And similarly, we will use the same process of mapping to map and share all the details over here into this field. Okay, so in this way, you can see that we have basically mapped all the details of a new lead in this content user field. So after entering the system prompt and the user prompt and entering all the details of a new lead which we have received from Google Forms in the trigger step, by mapping it, in the next field, it is asking us response format, that in which particular format we want the response from OpenAI. Now, if we keep this field as blank and don't enter anything, we will get a plain text response, a single response from OpenAI. But we want two different responses. Every time we get the result of the qualification from this action from OpenAI, we want the response in two different fields of lead qualification status and the explanation as well. Now, to ensure that, we have to basically give a response format, a output format, or a structure over here to OpenAI, telling OpenAI that this is the kind of response I want. To add the response format, we are going to just copy this help text over here from the help text, the last line, and paste it over here. Now, in this, you can see that we are mentioning or we are telling OpenAI that we want a response format. The type of our response will be a JSON schema. And what should be the JSON schema? We have to enter it over here. Now you must be thinking how you can create a JSON schema, a JSON object. So don't worry, you don't have to do it all by yourself. Just go to your OpenAI account, and from the docs on the left sidebar, you can see this option of structured output. Just select it and click on this generate button. As you click on generate, here you just have to mention that what kind of response you want from OpenAI, and for that response, this tool of OpenAI will generate a JSON schema. So the first response I want is I want to get lead qualification status as hot, warm, cold, or unqualified, and the explanation. So I have basically mentioned that I want two responses. The first one is the lead qualification status, and I just want one word answer: hot, warm, cold, or unqualified. And after that, after entering these details over here, let's click on create. Now, as you click on create, here you can see that within a few seconds, a JSON schema will be created. And yes, here you can see that using this tool of OpenAI, a JSON schema is created. In this JSON schema, we are getting two responses. First one is the lead qualification over here, lead qualification status, and the second one is the explanation. We have the lead type and the explanation. So we will just copy this schema from here, go to Pabbly Connect, and paste the exact same thing over here in front of JSON schema in this response format field. After entering the JSON schema for the type of response you want, here it is asking us for the user. So if you want to send some kind of message or detail or prompt to OpenAI with a unique identifier related to it, you can just enter that unique identifier for that user over here. But in this case, we don't want to do that, so you can just ignore this field for now. Also, to twerk the response, the kind of response or the kind of output you are getting from OpenAI, you can enter the max token, sampling type, sampling values, presence penalty, and all of these details over here. Right now, I just want to go with the default values. I don't want to change the quality or the type of response we get from OpenAI from ChatGPT. So we can just ignore these fields for now and click on this save and send test request button. And as we click on save and send test request, here you can see that within few seconds, we are going to receive some response. And yes, the response is received. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. In this response, you can see that OpenAI has given us this is a cold lead. And here in front of explanation, you can see that we have the complete explanation that why OpenAI thinks this is a cold lead. The lead is just exploring option and does not have the clear timeline, budget, or intent to buy or rent over here. So in this way, using OpenAI, we have received the response. We got the analysis that this is a cold lead over here. After getting the lead qualification result, we want to update the same result back in our Google spreadsheet over here. And also you can see that here we have to basically update the same result into the same row. So after creating this Google spreadsheet with Google Form responses, later on, I have manually added these two columns of lead qualification status and the explanation over here. So we want to update the data into the same fields over here. So what we are going to do, We'll come back to our workflow, scroll down, click on this Add Action Step button. And here in Choose App, we will search for Google Sheets because we want to update the data back in Google Sheets. After selecting Google Sheets, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Update Row. After selecting the action event, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here we have to connect our Google spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Sign In with Google button. Then after that, here from the pop-up window, select your Google Sheets account. After selecting the account, just scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, here you can see our Google Sheets account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us to select the spreadsheet. So in this drop-down, here you can see a list of all the spreadsheets that we have in our Google Sheets account. Out of all of this is the spreadsheet named as Real Estate Buyer Intake Form, in which we want to add the data. So this is the same spreadsheet in which we want to update. So from the drop-down, we are going to select that. Now, as we saw earlier, in this Google spreadsheet, we have only one sheet named as Sheet 1. That's why in this drop-down of Select Sheet, we have only one option of Sheet 1, and we are going to select that. After selecting the sheet, it is asking us row index, that in this Google spreadsheet, in which particular row we want to update the data. So we want to basically update the qualification status and the explanation in the same row in which we had the details of that lead. So what we are going to do here in the trigger step responses of Google form, where we have received the details of the lead, we have received the response of row index as well. So here from the trigger step responses, we are going to map the response of row index over here in this field. So from the drop down, from Google form responses, select and map it. Then all the columns of data which we have created in this Google Sheet, you can see all of these columns as fields inside Pabbly Connect. Now we don't want to update rest of the fields. We just want to update the last two fields of lead qualification status and the explanation. We'll just click on this field of lead qualification status, and from the drop down from OpenAI responses, select the qualification status given by OpenAI and map it. And also in explanation, we are going to map the response of explanation which was given by OpenAI and map it too. After mapping both of these details, we will just click on this Save and Send Test Request button. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received the response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the details which we have mapped over here in these two columns, in these two fields, these details are updated into the same row in which we have added the details of our Google Form lead, the same row whose data we have captured in Google Forms trigger. So let's check it. We will just go to a Google Sheet. And yes, here you can see that in this Google spreadsheet, at last, the same details are added. We have the same lead qualification status given by OpenAI and also the same explanation. So in this way, you can see that we have successfully created this Google Sheet AI agent or Google Forms AI agent, which will automatically qualify the real estate leads which you are getting from Google Forms and update the real estate lead qualification status and the explanation in Google Sheets itself. So not just these applications, you can build AI agents to connect multiple applications and automate different parts of your business using Pabbly Connect. Also, you will get a clone link of this same workflow in the description box below. And by clicking on that link, you can just clone the same AI agent, the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using it for free. Also, let me tell you that Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this AI agent, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.